My name is Ryan Lane, and welcome to my review channel. So for today's 50th movie, I will be reviewing Memory, directed by Martin Campbell and starring Liam Neeson and Guy Pearce. So, anyway, Liam Neeson, he stars as Alex Lewis, a hitman with advanced Alzheimer's who wants out of the job. Yeah, gee, who hasn't heard of that before? But before he can retire, he is given a job to assassinate a 13-year-old girl, to which he is none too pleased with, and so he decides to go on a killing spree to ensure that the bad guys don't do this again. So, yeah, this film is a bit of a mixed bag. But first, let's start off with the performances. Liam Neeson, as I said, he plays Alex Lewis, the hitman with Alzheimer's. And, I mean, at this point, he could probably do it in his sleep at this point. But thankfully, he's Liam Neeson. He still manages to give a good performance as a man who visibly shows just how tired he is. This isn't a knock on his performance. This fits with the character. In the very first scene, he's shown to be very proficient at his job, but also very tired of his job. You can tell just by how he walks that he has clearly seen better days. Anyway, and so also he gives a good performance, and he handles himself well in the action scenes. Again, as far as action goes, this film isn't super choreographed, but the film is clearly tailored to the fact that Liam Neeson is 69 years old and is clearly getting up there, but he still manages to take the assignments he's given in terms of action scenes, and he does them well. Also, Guy Pearce, he gives a performance as a cop who would rather talk his way through situations rather than shoot his way through situations. Who also genuinely cares about the aforementioned 13-year-old girl that the Alex Lewis character was hired to assassinate. But the rest of the cast, yeah, they're not quite as good, both writing-wise and performance-wise. For example, Monica Bellucci, she plays this real estate owner who the film spends a good chunk of not a lot of time, but a notable amount of time with her and her doctor and how her discussions about wanting to live for a long time. It's okay. And the point of this was, I mean, thankfully the film's well paced enough that I was never annoyed by it, but still, it kind of begs the question, what was the point of that on both a plot level and a thematic level? Also, the cops in the film are, for example, there's this character, Hugo Marquez, played by Harold Torres, and, he's not, he's written as he's kind of two-dimensional, and his backstory for why he does what he does in helping to take down human traffickers is, basically at one point he's asked by Taj Atwi, who plays Linda Armistead in the film, as to why he does what he does, and basically he just gives a giant exposition dump as to why he does in a huge monologue, and I'm I felt like I should have been taking notes, it's Mr. Movie, is there going to be a quiz on this? Because I'm going to need to repeat that again. Yeah, and once again, there's as with all cop movies, there's, a big higher up cop who's oh, you've been doing this work for several months and now you've got nothing to show for it. It's oh, but I've got this, I can't make a case out of this. It's I mean, yeah, it doesn't, performance wise, the actor doesn't bring much to it, nor writing wise. Yeah, and also, I will say, in terms of writing, the backstory, I felt like it could have delved a little bit more into the backstory for the Alex Lewis character. The film does give some backstory that does give some good character shading, but I feel like the film could have delved just a little bit more. The Vincent Sarah character, played by Guy Pearce, on the other hand, I feel like he did have some good backstory that was well set up and paid off in the film. And I do like that the backstory sort of highlights how memory, even in people without Alzheimer's or other memory issues, how memory can still be a fickle issue that is to this day a very big roadblock to prosecuting cases. And also, while we're on the topic of memory, let's sort of talk about the film's sort of big plot point, like the fact that our hitman has Alzheimer's. Like, the trailers sort of make it seem like this is going to be a bit of a mind bender type film where the protagonist and the audience have to try and determine what's real and what isn't, what was misremembered and what we failed to remember. But the film doesn't do that. It's like the film hints at this. Like, there's one scene where the character's like, was I here at this time last night? Like, I do like that he genuinely seemed like he might have actually done something but remembered it another way. But the film doesn't really do that. Now, that's not to say the film doesn't take advantage of the fact that he has Alzheimer's in the script. Like, he's seen at multiple points doing things related to the fact that he has Alzheimer's. The most notable of which is that he writes pieces of important information on his forearm, which I do like. And the film does have a climax which involves his ability to remember or his lack thereof. But I don't know. I guess I just wish the film had used it to taken better advantage of the Alzheimer's plot device for this film. So let's see what else. I will definitely say this: Martin Campbell's good direction keeps the film moving and helps avoid a sense of annoyance at some of the cliches and in the writing. Like, again, the action scenes are well shot and there's some good cinematography outside of the action scenes. So I guess with all that in mind, thanks to good direction and a capable cast, the memory is able to transcend its kind of cliched script. So with all that in mind, I will be giving Memory 3 out of 5 stars. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day.